starting off front page review today with the Nation major headline. Recapitalization, 20 banks in race to escape CBN hammer. Financial institutions weighing options of downgrading status. In other news, ARCO Group hails Oku on global recognition by Marquis Huzwu. Oyo gives 25 million naira cash to families of slain forest guards. And banks offer 2.7% interest on savings, charge 60% on loans. Then we have killer suspects of woman, 6 children in police net. ICPC files charges against Ozekhome over ownership of Hussaini's UK house. I got disputed property as a gift for election petition cases. SAN insists. Brave Senegal stun host Morocco to claim second AFCON title. All right, what story are we starting with?
Let's start with the human interest in the nation. I want to join the Commissioner of Police, Kano, to commend the officers for timely arrest of 3 suspects involved in the murder of a woman, a mother, and 6 children in Kano. So over the weekend, everybody was talking about this murder, and the public, of course, was calling for prosecution and effective arrest. And it happened. So the Kano State Police Command spokesperson, Chief Superintendent of Police Abdullahi Haruna, announced that 3 suspects named Umar Awalu, who is 23, of Sabuwar Gandu quarters, Isiaku Yakubu, aka Chebe, who is 40 years old, of Shagagi quarters, and Yakubu Abdulaziz, aka Wawo, 21-year-old, of Sabongida Sharada quarters, all in Kano, were arrested for the murder of Fatima Abubakar and her 6 children at their residence in Dorai Chiranchi quarters at 12 midnight on Saturday. And the way they were murdered, the story is such a painful one, but I just want to commend the police. The Commissioner of Police of Kano has assured that, we will get diligent prosecution and a conviction.
Okay, so major headline, banks are revving up multi-layered strategies as the banking recapitalization draws down to its final and most decisive phase. They said with barely 52 working days to the deadline for banks to meet new capital requirements, many are now narrowing down their options with more focus on snap private equity and a shift along the banking categorization level. Ahead of the March 31st deadline, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso, in his last public update on the recapitalization program, confirmed that 16 banks have met their new capital requirements. He also indicated that 27 other banks were raising funds. Now, the Deputy Governor, Economic Policy, CBN, Dr. Mohammed Abdullahi, spoke a few days ago and said not less than 20 banks have met the new capital requirements. And, he also commented on the heel of a recent confirmation by the United Bank of Africa, that's UBA, Fidelity Bank and First Bank, that they had met their new capital requirements and after final clearance of their latest capital raisings. He says Nigeria currently has 44 deposit-taking banks across various license categories. And some banks, had come out to say that they are willing to downgrade their categorization from probably a national bank to a regional bank till they are able to, sort out their papers, and then they can now apply to move up to national. There was another information that an international bank is also planning to downgrade from an international bank to a national bank, till they are able to get all their requirements, and then they can upgrade back to an international bank. They're just trying to see how they can meet up with this recapitalization. So I think it's a good one.
All right, for me, still in the Nation newspaper, Minister of Works, David Umahi, has said that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has broken the jinx of failed road contracts in Southeast. He actually expressed satisfaction with the contractors handling the Enugu-Onitsha road for doing a good job. The minister spoke at the weekend as he unveiled tougher engineering standards, strict deadlines, and new technology to secure highways across the region. He also said that the federal government had placed a nation-wide ban on all forms of mining activities within 10-kilometer radius of bridges as part of measures to safeguard critical infrastructure and enhance safety on highways. He said the ban followed an approval of the Federal Executive Council, stressing that enforcement mechanism, including water patrols, will be deployed to ensure compliance, particularly around the bridges. I actually like this, and we need to do more on our highways. The road is actually nothing to write home about. So if we fix the highways and then bring back sanity to the roads, and security is actually top-notch. I'm very sure that people will start plying roads to travel home.
All right, so we'll quickly take a break. When we return, we'll continue with the front page review. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we'll continue with front page review. There's a story I found really interesting. The story of ICPC's charges against Ozekhome. Ozekhome San had a property that he said was transferred to him from late Minister of the FCT, Useni, who also contested for Plateau State Governor. Okay. So when he contested for Plateau State Governor, he lost, and then they went into tribunals, election and all of that. When he couldn't pay for his court cases, he transferred ownership of his house in London to Ozekhome, according to Ozekhome's statement. However, there's been litigation against his transfer of that property into his name. He said he's been in possession of that property since 2024. In July 2024, there was a case in the court in London that was contesting the passport he used, that the passport he used to take ownership was not even a real passport. Wow. So there are some issues going on. But I didn't know that lawyers make they collect property for London for trial.
You know they take
case.
Land settle lawyer.
We take land settle lawyer. A lot of lawyers that become property owners is from London.
What are you talking about?
Let him settle this case with ICPC and then we'll all be happy. Moving on to Punch, major headline. Petrol war importers outplace Dangote with 62% supply in 2025. Federal government report shows high-stakes struggle for Nigeria's petrol market as 15% import duty looms. Then you can't miss the picture of drama as Senegal beats Morocco to claim AFCON title. INC protest over Fubara's impeachment plots. Motorists talk as multiple collision ground Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. 2027, my re-election unstoppable, Oti tells Oji Kalu. And we have 30 billion naira relief, Oyo cries politics as Makinde faces EFCC petition. APC rules out automatic tickets for defecting governors. That's interesting. I should take that story. Cash rush, ATM withdrawals jump by 198% to 36 trillion naira. And final story will be looked in the headline is federal government allocates below 1% of 2027 budget to fight poverty. All right, so what story are we starting with?
Up Senegal.
I'm just happy because they beat the Morocco that beats Nigeria.
Yes.
I know. All of us were in the same WhatsApp group.
Are you inside my house?
Yes.
I did not even watch this man now. Twitter, watcher. But if you see the way I was screaming, you would think that I was on the pitch there with them. But you know, the reports were that they were being cheated a lot. There were too many disallowed goals, the wrong kind of penalty, but with this, they did the kind of mix they did for us. But Senegal, you know, their God was with them. I saw the pictures I was showing, all their players were doing Thanksgiving after this match. Wow. You know, I feel for Morocco because now
as a host nation,
they didn't get. You know, Tunisia hosted, they won. Egypt hosted, they won. And you know,
this game is a game.
It happens.
Well done, Senegal. Well done, Senegal.
So petrol importation remained the dominant source of fuel consumption in Nigeria since 2025, accounting for 62.47% of the country's total premium motor spirit consumption. This is according to the Punch. They said the trend persisted despite the commencement of operations, steady ramp-up in production and distribution of petrol by domestic refineries, notably the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, alongside state-owned refineries and several modular facilities, as revealed in the latest midstream and downstream sector fact sheet released by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. So according to the newly released NMDPRA fact sheet on the state of the midstream and downstream petroleum sector, as analyzed by the correspondent on Sunday, that's for Punch, they said the total national petrol consumption by Nigerians stood at approximately 18.97 billion litres in 2025, with all marketing companies accounting for 11.85 billion litres through imports, highlighting the market's continued dependence on foreign supply. So in as much as the Dangote refinery has started, and we're hopeful that we are going to gradually phase out, you know, the importation, we still have largely, major importation still happening. And I would like to ask what is going on.
Let's see how the data of 2026 would go out.
All right, so let's talk about this 30 billion naira relief funds. The Human and Environmental Development Agenda has petitioned the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over alleged diversion, misapplication, and criminal breach of trust involving the 30 billion naira release funds released by the federal government to the Oyo State government in the aftermath of the January 2024 Bodija explosion in Ibadan. Now, the petition signed by HIDA chairman, Mr. Olarewaju Suraju, and addressed to the EFCC chairman, Mr. Olanipekun Koyede, queried the status of the fund release for the compensation of explosion victims, reconstruction, and emergency relief. Now, in the petition dated January 5, 2026, the group expressed concern that only about 4.5 billion naira intervention funds was reportedly applied to relief and compensation for victims, while federal government's 30 billion naira remained largely unaccounted for. Now, the organization is actually concerned that about 4.5 billion naira intervention funds, they gave it to some of the victims, and meanwhile, on record, it was stated that 30 billion naira was given to the government.
EFCC, do your work completely. Let us have full details of where the money went to.
Honestly.
Yes.
Honestly.
But I had to take the story because this is a very political story. You see, APC has ruled out automatic tickets. You see all the governors. Let me list out the governors. Akwa Ibom State's governor, Taraba State's governor, Rivers State's governor, as well as Kano State's governor, who is expected to join soon. All of the defecting governors, you don't have automatic tickets. The National Working Committee said even the president does not have automatic tickets. Even senators don't. Everybody at the camp does not mean that you will have automatic
Is that not in paper?
tickets. According to what is in the papers,
Yeah, according
that the primaries will be conducted. Everybody that aspires to the role would conduct. The fact that you have the camp does not guarantee that
the fact that they are conducting primaries does not mean that a person does not
they can just
automatic delegates tickets day.
What have we not seen in Nigeria? Moving on to Daily Sun. Major headline: IMF gives recipe for job losses in Nigeria. Insists workers must acquire additional skills, need education reforms and innovation. Then we have CBN exports gain $50.67 billion inflow in 1 year. Wanted drug kingpin Kano arrested 12 years after killing 3 NDLEA officers. Or heart goes out to the family of those officers. ADC demands clarification on US-Nigeria health MOU. Police nabbed 3 suspects over alleged murder of 3 women and 8 others in Kano. NBET to spend 598.5 billion naira on power reform program, and the Sun Award was given to some people, and they were hailed for some things. All right.
Okay, so let me take Kamo's story. According to the Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi of the NDLEA successfully arrested this drug kingpin who killed 3 NDLEA officers, whose official name is Lekon Jimo, his alias is Kamo. And every time they've tracked him over the years, he's been able to rally mobs who would attack the NDLEA officers and kill some of them. Other times he was able to escape. He's been a fugitive for 12 years.
Wow.
They've been trying to get him arrested for that long, but they were able to successfully do this. And even upon this arrest, they found him in possession of a 69 kilogram of skunk. Another strain of cannabis, still in business. Other times they tried to arrest him, they were able to, recover drugs to the tune of 1,900 kilograms in his possession.
Wow.
And so NDLEA considered this a huge one, and I'm more than happy because the officers whose families he puts in mourning had their names mentioned also in the papers. Just very sad. My heart goes out to them. Again. What you suffer in the course of duty.
The International Monetary Fund has warned workers around the world that the future of work will no longer belong to certificate holders alone, but those who can adapt, reskill, and learn continuously as artificial intelligence and digital technologies rapidly transform global labor markets. So in a blog post based on fresh IMF research, the managing director, Kristalina Georgieva, said the scale and speed of technological change are redefining employability across economies. Drawing on an analysis of millions of online job vacancies in advanced and emerging market economies, she noticed that the demand for new skills is no longer limited to a few specialized sectors, but is spreading across almost every occupation. And according to the IMF, it said 1 in 10 jobs posting in advanced economies and 1 in 20 in emerging market economies now require at least one new skill. This shift, the fund said, highlights a fundamental change in the world of work, where the ability to update skill is becoming as important as formal qualifications or years of experience. You know, we've been talking about it, that we need to start preparing our children for jobs of the future.
Totally.
It's not just the old school curriculum.
We still need doctors. We'll still need
No. They are jobs that will always have.
We might not need lawyers, but we'll need doctors. Moving on to Vanguard, major headline. I'm still governor for apologies to all the lawyers. I'm still governor from Fubara. ADC to federal government. Come clean on US-Nigeria Health Pact. We've taken the story of the murder, the capturing of the person that murdered 3 NDLEA officers. Federal government bans mining within 10-kilometer radius of bridges nationwide. And then we have 52 suspects arrested in Ekpoma for looting and vandalism. So who has the mining story?
I do.
Or
so
it is vandalism?
She has the mining, she can take then vandalism.
Yeah, take
go
vandalism.
on, take the
Okay, so it trended over the weekend. A lot of Nigerians coming out to say why are innocent, peaceful protesters arrested. Now, the IGP is coming out to say that IGP Kayode Egotokun is coming out to say that dismiss claims that police officers arrested peaceful protesters in Ekpoma, Edo State. Now, he said 52 suspects taken into custody were involved in criminal acts during the protest. Now, you remember, as I said, that the arrest of the protesters, of whom most of them were actually students of the Abu Salim University, has actually sparked a lot of conversation online. People coming out to say that why would you arrest peaceful protesters? Now, he said, now, Nigerians are used to always attacking the police. Now, according to him in his own words, he said even those who burnt down police stations, murdered policemen, stole our arms during the protest, Nigerians will accuse us that we are arresting people who are on peaceful protest. Now, he's coming out to say that these 52 suspects that we have in our custodies, we are not peaceful. They were actually involved in vandalism.
Fantastic. We'll move on to the mining story.
Okay, so the Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, has announced that the federal government has banned all forms of mining within 10-kilometer radius of bridges across the country. And in the same vein, in the same story, talked about the fake decision to strengthen structural integrity of bridges and ensure road safety. And, you know, talked about security measures being put in place where they're also setting up CCTV cameras along our road. But he mentioned in this story that 480 million was used to, you know, set up the CCTV for the 3rd mainland bridge. And that one, I can't slow down. But, well, he's a commendable one. It's also...
but there's mining taking place under 3rd mainland bridge, even though they said they shouldn't do it.
Yeah. No, so
they
are banning mining within 10, and they're going to enforce it. And measures include, you know, boats and monitoring boats and other security measures like CCTV that he's mentioned. So hopefully enforcement will be taken seriously.
It's all we can take. It just feel bad for business owners who have invested a lot of money, gotten license, and started work, and then stop.
No. Mining along our infrastructure.
Yeah, but somebody's permitted it so far.
So have you seen this?
I know, we can't discuss
I'm with him on
we'll
this
take
one.
a break. No, I understand both sides. When we return, we continue with the show. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.